This is the incredible moment. A crocodile lunges for a gazelle after waiting several days for the perfect opportunity, but the hungry reptile's meal gets spooked just seconds before the attack, allowing it to slip through the jaws of death. Incredible footage captured in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve shows the hungry beasts make a dash for the unsuspecting gazelle. However, just as he's about to make the kill, his prey leaps back from the edge of the watering hole. Had the 100 kilograms animal been just half a second slower, it would have been history. In the end, the croc ends up with nothing more than a mouthful of mud. And you'll be shocked to hear just how long the croc spent waiting patiently for this moment. This all happened on the first morning of a safari in October. A male client had asked me to take him out because he wanted to see the Big Five, says Guide Anthony. We were looking for rhino, buffalo, lion, leopard, and elephant. But instead we came across this hungry croc. At first glance, it looks like a Nile crocodile, but that's not quite right. Although similar, there are some key differences between these two. The broad-snouted crocodile has a lighter underside, longer, narrower snout, and rounded brow. Meanwhile, the closely related false gharial has a dark gray or black underside, a longer, pointed, narrow snout, and angular brow. False gharials can also grow larger than their Nile cousins, reaching lengths of over 6 meters compared to Nile crocodile's maximum length of 6 meters. But despite their size difference, these two species exhibit similar behaviors and have overlapping habitats in parts of Africa, Asia, and Australia. So it wasn't surprising that our client got excited when he spotted this large ambush predator basking on the riverbank. We followed it and watched as it slipped into the water and swam towards a nearby bush, says Anthony. There we saw a family of warthogs rooting around in the undergrowth. The crocodile waited patiently in the water, hoping to catch one of them off guard and snatch it out of the bush. But the warthogs remained wary and didn't venture too close to the river, frustrating the crocodile's efforts to catch a meal. Days passed, and the crocodile grew increasingly desperate for food. On October, Anthony set out again with another client, a woman named Joy. They hoped to find some action, but nothing happened until they returned to the same river where they had seen the broad-snouted crocodile a few days earlier. To their surprise, the reptile was still there, stubbornly refusing to move. It seemed strange that it hadn't moved for days, so we decided to keep watching it, hoping something interesting would happen, says Anthony. Little did they know they were in for an unexpected treat. The crocodile had been patiently waiting for a gazelle to quench its thirst. These graceful creatures often come down to rivers and lakes to drink, unaware that they are putting themselves at risk of being hunted by predators such as crocodiles. The day before the footage was taken, the crocodile had already waited over 24 hours for a gazelle to appear. However, its patience paid off on that fateful day when a lone Thompson's gazelle approached the river. Thompson's gazelle are known for their distinctive markings and can be found in open grasslands and savannas of eastern and southern Africa. They typically stand around 76 to 99 centimeters tall at the shoulder and weigh between 19 and 30 kilograms. The females are generally smaller than the males, and they have a lifespan of 10 to 15 years in the wild. As the gazelle came closer, the crocodile knew it had a chance to finally end its hunger strike, but it had to act carefully and patiently to increase its chances of a successful hunt. After all, it had waited days for this opportunity and couldn't afford to mess it up now. The Thompson's gazelle cautiously made its way to the river, keeping a close eye on it. It took small sips of water, keeping its head low to avoid being seen. The crocodile remained perfectly still, its eyes fixed on the gazelle. As it drank, its muscles coiled, ready to strike at a moment's notice. Suddenly, the gazelle lifted its head and shook itself, sending water droplets flying. This was the signal the crocodile had been waiting for. In a flash, the crocodile lunged forward, its powerful jaws wide open. The gazelle let out a startled bleat and tried to scramble back, but it was too late. The crocodile had anticipated this move and was ready for it. Its powerful tail swished, propelling it forward and ensuring that the gazelle couldn't escape its grasp. The chase was over. But just as the crocodile thought it had secured its meal, the unexpected happened. The gazelle, with a burst of adrenaline, managed to leap out of the water and onto the bank. The crocodile, surprised by this sudden twist, found itself empty-pawed and frustrated. The gazelle didn't waste a second and bolted away into the tall grass. The crocodile, realizing that it had lost its prey, could only watch helplessly as it disappeared from sight. Despite the setback, the crocodile knew that the gazelle wouldn't get away for long. It had the upper hand now, and it was only a matter of time before it caught up with its prey. With renewed determination, the crocodile slipped back into the water and began tracking the gazelle. It knew that the chase was far from over, and it was eager to make the kill. But the gazelle was proving to be a worthy opponent. It dodged and weaved through the tall grass, using its agility and speed to evade the crocodile's grasp. The crocodile, relentless and determined, pursued the gazelle relentlessly, refusing to give up the chase. It was a battle of wits and endurance between the two animals as they raced through the tall grass. each trying to outmaneuver the other. However, the crocodile's frustration grew with each passing moment. It had wasted precious time and energy and still had nothing to show for it. The gazelle, on the other hand, was getting away with its life, and that was a bitter pill to swallow for the hungry predator. Then came the final twist in the tale. As the gazelle ran for its life, it stumbled upon a group of warths. These large, sturdy-looking pigs are known for their distinctive wart-like bumps on their faces and shoulders. They are also known for their aggressive nature and will fiercely defend their territory if threatened. Seeing the warthogs, the gazelle panicked and turned around, hoping to escape back to safety. But it was too late. The crocodile, sensing an opportunity, lunged forward and grabbed the gazelle in its powerful jaws. The chase was over, and the crocodile had finally caught its prey. With the gazelle securely in its grasp, the crocodile dragged it back to the river. It had waited days for this moment, and now it was finally time to quench its hunger. The crocodile, with a satisfied growl, disappeared into the water with its prey, leaving behind a scene of carnage and despair. The incident left those witnessing it in awe of the crocodile's patience and determination. Despite waiting days for its meal, the crocodile refused to give up and eventually emerged victorious. The gazelle, on the other hand, had put up a valiant fight, but ultimately it was no match for the crocodile's strength and cunning. The thrill of the chase and the satisfaction of the kill were palpable as the crocodile disappeared into the water with its prize. For those fortunate enough to witness this spectacle, it was a reminder of the raw power and tenacity of nature's predators. The crocodile had proven that patience and persistence can pay off in the end. But for the gazelle, it was a harsh lesson in the unforgiving nature of the wild, where survival often comes down to a matter of inches. And just like that, the crocodile managed to secure its long-awaited meal. The struggle for survival continues in the heart of Africa's wilderness, and the crocodile's patience pays off in the end, reminding us that even the hungriest of predators can wait for the perfect opportunity. The crocodile waited patiently in the water, hidden beneath the surface. It kept its eyes sharp, watching the movements of its potential prey. The wait was agonizing, but the crocodile knew that its patience would eventually pay off. And it did. When the gazelle approached the water, the crocodile struck with lightning speed, its powerful jaws clamping down on its prey. The chase was over in an instant. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the crocodile disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind the fading cries of the gazelle. The cycle of predator and prey played out once again in the heart of the African wilderness, reminding us of the harsh realities of life in the wild, where survival is a constant struggle. So there you have it, folks, the amazing story of the crocodile that waited days for the perfect chance at a well-deserved meal. But it makes you wonder, what kind of patience do you have? Can you sit tight and wait for your chance? Or do you prefer to seize the moment when it presents itself? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling tales of the wild. Thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting.